Do I really need 20% down in Savannah?
You don't need 20% down anywhere in the United States, let alone Savannah, Georgia. Some people prefer to put down more. Obviously, the less you're financing, the lower your payment, but not everybody has 20%. Some programs don't require any down payment, some as little as 3%. The more you put down, the lower your payment's going to be.
Is PMI forever? The truth about private mortgage insurance.
Is PMI required for the life of the loan? Not necessarily. So PMI stands for private mortgage insurance. So on conventional loans where you put down less than 20%, mortgage insurance is required. The theory there is if you put 20% of your own money down, you're a lot less likely to default. I will tell you that the mortgage insurance gets cheaper the more you put down, say 3, 5, 10, 15%. So it's not all or nothing. We like to talk about what someone's risk is. So the more you put down and the higher your credit score, the lower your risk. The lower your risk, the lower your interest rate, and the lower your mortgage insurance rate.
Closing costs are a mystery. Here's the breakdown.
For closing costs in this area, it's going to range between 3 and 5% of the purchase price. Closing costs could be made up of the title search, the attorney's fees, the mailings of the documents after they need to go back to the bank. There are several small little costs that all add up to that 3 to 5% that would be typical for closing costs.
What is earnest money and why does it go to escrow?
So earnest money is essentially a good faith gesture from a buyer to demonstrate to the seller when they're presenting their offer how serious they are about purchasing the home. It goes into escrow and it's normally, so the buyer will make the deposit. It will be deposited by whomever is holding that earnest money, whether it be the listing agent's broker or the buyer's agent's broker or the closing attorney, and it's deposited and held there for the buyer. Let's say the buyer moves forward in the contract, that still stays with the buyer, so they would see that money subtracted out on the settlement statement. Or if it terminates, or they choose to terminate during one of the contingency periods in the contract, which is those are there to protect the buyer, that earnest money is returned to the buyer at that time.
I have my down payment. What else do I need to save for?
Good question. So we want someone to understand everything from start to finish, as in the things they would need to pay for before closing, things like a home inspection. Everything you're going to pay at closing is disclosed before on the loan estimate and then right before closing on the closing disclosure. So the goal is for everybody involved to be as transparent as possible during the process. Nobody likes surprises at closing. So knowing what that number is going to be, because you want to make sure, A, that you're going to have enough money for closing, and then for all the reserves that you want to have. I like to think about is how many months worth of mortgage payments are you going to want to have in the bank so that you can sleep better in your new home and not having spent every penny to get in that house.